Okay, this time this is not about exactly on a certain religion, but I wish to tell you how do or how should prophecies work, and what makes a prophecy compared to other things. First, you have to understand the differences between a prophecy and a prediction, because they are very similar. They look very similar, but they are very different if you check them in a scientific point of view with real interest, if I make that. Uh, First, I will who usually you associate prophecies to. Um, Mostly you heard that from psychics and magicians and sorcerers, whatever they call themselves. Uh, in most cases, prophecies contains allegoric pictures and some fluid and psychedelic descriptions. Uh, what the scientists, uh, I don't say it is necessary, but the hardcore scientists expect prophecy be very exact, like when this is 2000, you have to make it, you have to say that, oh, and it will happen in the, well, 2001, and it will happen in this and this country, and if possible, this and this day, by this and this person, like like a memory. But I don't want don't want a prophecy be that precise. I really have some experience with the background of magic, and that's not how you expect magic to work, because prophecy, let's face it, it's magic, not the scientific method. It is the magical method. I will make a video to explain what's the difference between the religious thinking, the magical thinking, and the scientific thinking, so don't worry. You can expect something like that in the near future. So, the basic requirements for a prophecy is that you should not know, you should not, and you should not be able to predict the events you are describing, but at the same time you have to be precise on what you are discussing. You have to be exactly telling one and only one thing. Uh, so, first, about certainty, I decided to use this pencil to explain my reasons. First, you have to be, you have to know influence on the events you are describing. So prophecy cannot be controlled. It must happen without the knowledge of the prophecy, because if you know the prophecy, you can change the future, and if you, especially not the person who makes the prophecy, because then he will just makes it, fulfill his own prophecy, and well, that is just nonsense. So I prophesy here and now that I will put down this pencil. Is this a real prophecy? Because most people believe this is. These kind of things are prophecy, but this is not. Because I, from two reasons. Because I can't take this pencil forever in between my fingers, and the second, it is very probable that I will put down this pencil. Now the second part is that I will put this pencil on my keyboard. I won't move the camera, you can be sure of that. Now, the next step, I will prophesy that someone will move this pencil in whatever language you want. Is this a prophecy? No, this is a prediction. This reached the goal to tell you one exact happening, one exact event, but this doesn't match the. You have no knowledge about you can the not predict part, because to use the keyboard it is inconvenient to have a pencil on it. You can be sure, exactly sure, that the next person who will use this keyboard will remove this pencil from the keyboard. So this is not a prophecy. Now, what to do next? Then the next step will be also with this pencil. You see how useful this pencil can be. So I will prophesy as that people will write with this pencil. Is this a prophecy? Many people think that prophecies can be fulfilled many times repeatedly, but this is stupid, because that way this was a prophecy that people will write with this pencil, or people will have wars, or there will be big earthquakes like above 7.0 on that scale. These kind of things are not prophecies. These are evident things that they will evidently happen. And there are, and let's face it, even if you be more precise, like, and people will climb through the window and lift things for themselves, I mean robbery, then let's say you live in a one-level mansion and you are famous having certain large amount of gold things in your flat, and of course sometimes people will come in on your window and steal things, because you know the door you are more precisely logged. So this is not a prophecy. The prophecy must contain exactly describing one event, and can and only that event, and must be precisely describe that event. And to know what the prophecy describing is, you have to know when the person lived, what he is most probably referring to, and stop looking for fulfillment after the first possible of the fulfillment of the fortune telling, and then just stop it, please stop, or else you are just praying for the destruction of all things, and that is dangerous.